129 years ago, Walnut Hills High School first opened its doors to students. A few years later, they started playing organized football against other schools. Now, though, the present day Walnut Hills Eagles will look to end a different form of history tonight, their 27-game losing streak dating back to September 10th of 2021. To do so, they'll have to beat the Western Hills Mustangs, a team looking to win their first Division I matchup in 13 years. Hi, everybody. My name is Graham, and welcome to beautiful Mark Stadium on this August evening for some high school football. Walnut Hills will be led by second-year head coach G. Benjamin Miles, facing off against Western Hills and their second-year head coach Derek Webster. To go home. To go, bro. Go, West Hop. Now we're ready for the teams to come out into the field. About 3 minutes away from end of warm-ups. Western Hills ready to come first. Their line led by sophomore quarterback Omari Beckley and sophomore defensive back Ezzy Holston. But first, the Eagles, they stream out into the field led by linebacker Jonathan Jackson Jr. and linebacker Charles Swift, with head coach Miles at the back. And they are ready to end a streak. Cade Fightmaster, defensive end, plants a flag in the middle of the field. Teams have arrived and the countdown clock's at about 2 minutes and counting. It's very close to being underway. Walnut Hills is led by a young and hungry team, a young defense, and a strong passing attack. And that is what they believe can get them over the hump in tonight's matchup. With 30 seconds until kickoff, we are about ready to get underway. T is set at the 40, and Western Hills kicker, motioning people around. It's number 3, Omari Beckley. Motioning people around. 2 returners back deep for the Eagles. Beckley steps back and still Bronson and Parker Rowe back deep to receive. Whistle blows. And Beckley puts his right foot to the ball, and here we go. A low kick, fielded up at the 24, and returned by Bronson to the 30, cuts right side to the 35, and tackled at about the 39-yard line by gunner Jontavius Whaley. And that's where the Eagles offense will start. And here comes the Walnut Hills offense. Looks like we have an offside penalty before a play even happens on the Mustangs. 11:54 on the first quarter clock. And I think we're going to have a re-kick. So they'll brought the kicking team back out there to the 35. And we'll try this again. Bronson and Malachi Lures back to receive. Omari Beckley back for the kick at the Western Hills 30. Try it again. Kick by Beckley from the 30. Sends a man in motion, and here we go. From the 30, another low kick, fielded by an up man at the 35. Bronson to the 45. Bronson taken down at about the 47 by Western Hills Hiram Womack. And Walnut Hills will start very close to plus territory. While we play to the Walnut Hills 48. Here we go, and a whistle stops play. Rivers. 52.1% completion percentage of the sophomore last year in 5 starts. Lines up with running back Simeon Robinson behind him in a heavy set. Thornton in motion. Rivers hands to Robinson. Cuts to the 50, and that is about all. Taken down at the Western Hills 49 by defensive back Devontae Sheely. Second down. Ball is going to be placed at the 50. 2nd and 8. Another heavy set for the Eagles. 2nd and 8 from the 50. Robinson behind Rivers. Austin goes in motion. And Rivers pressured quickly, and he flips to Austin at the 50. Cuts right out of the 45. Austin out of bounds inside the 40. And he's finally knocked out inside the 35-yard line. Big play for Ty Austin. And Walnut is looking for him to have a monster season. First down for Austin. Ball at the Western Hills 33-yard line. Rivers had pressure in his face, but had the option to pitch to Austin. That's what he did, and he got a big play out of it. Now Cade Fightmaster will enter the game at tight end. He'll roll out left with Bronson, and Austin again stays in the heavy set. Rivers rolls left, option play, pitches Robinson, and the ball is loose, and Robinson picks it up, but he's going to get smashed down behind the 35. Rivers pitched it behind him, and Robinson wasn't ready for it. It'll be a loss of 3. Second and 13 coming up. So Walnut running a lot of option offense here on this first drive. Did not do that much last year. Rivers with Robinson behind him. Bronson goes out wide, Austin on the wing. Snap, Rivers back to pass for the first time. He's going to chuck it to the right sideline. That is caught by Jeremiah Thornton and taken down inside the 25 at about the 23 of Western Hills. And Rivers starts the season good, passing to new varsity player Jeremiah Thornton, and that will be enough for a Walnut first down. First and 10, ball on the Western Hills 22. Robinson behind Rivers in a shotgun. Snap it to him. Rivers rolls out to the left. He's pressured. Rivers going to throw to the end zone for Austin. It's caught. But they'll say he was out of bounds. Austin had caught it at about the 2, but could not get a foot down. Would have been a great catch by him, but instead it's just an incompletion. Second down and 10 for Walnut. Nuthouse was cheering heavily on that one. Did not get that great catch by Austin to go through. Austin over 400 receiving yards in his 2 years with the varsity team. Now they'll go back to the wing formation with Brunson and Jeremiah Thornton out left, Austin on the wing. Rivers rolls out left again. Rivers uncorks it. End zone. Broken up and intercepted. Picked off by Western Hills defensive linebacker Jaden Ramsey, who was covering Ty Austin. And Walnut's first drive of the year ends in a pick. Rivers was trying to get it in there to Ty Austin. Very close to the end zone. And Ramsey won the rep and picked off the pass. So Rivers' first drive of 2024 ends in a pick. Western Hills will have it on their own 3-yard line, and Walnut's defense is already out there looking to make up for that big mistake. Western Hills starting a transfer quarterback from LaSalle, Omari Beckley. He also took the opening kickoff. Didn't see any varsity action last year. And Western Hills backed up in the shadow of their own end zone. Beckley hands it off. And he is driven back, and that's going to be a safety. As Deshaun Hoskins got into the backfield, shot the gap, and we're gonna place the ball. It looked like a safety. They're gonna place it just short of the end zone at about the 1. Hoskins thought he had a huge play, settled for a tackle for loss. It's second down and 12 from Western Hills' own 1. Really backed up now. Beckley gonna hand it off again and fumbles the snap. He's got it, and he's tackled in the end zone, and now it's a safety. 2 big plays in a row. Xander Hargis, defensive back, shot the gap alongside defensive end Braylon Coleman. And there's no doubt about that one. That is 2 points for Walnut. That is the first time in 25 games they have scored first on an opponent. Two points for Walnut's first score of the year. 8:25 to go in the first quarter. So the interception still turns into points for the Walnut Hills Eagles. Just not as many. Now Western Hills got to send out their safety punt team as Beckley will give him the ball at the 25. Last year's Western Hills kicker, John Pascal Portis, did not attempt a kick all year. He is no longer with the team, and Beckley, playing both quarterback and kicker. Ball is placed on the 20-yard line, and Beckley will kick it off. Two returners deep. It is again Brunson and Lures. And here's a low kick. Feed at about the 40. This goes to Bronson to the 45 to the 50. He's met and not stopped. Bronson, 40-yard line, 35, and knocked out of bounds inside the 35 by Western Hills linebacker Anthony McDonald. But another great start for the Walnut offense. They'll have it in plus territory for Will Rivers' second drive of the game. .8:16 on the game clock as Walnut Hill will begin their second drive, leading 2-0 after a safety on a tackle for loss by defensive end Braylon Coleman at the 37-yard line. Rivers ready to receive the snap from freshman center Brady Nolman. Jared Ross will line up as fullback with Austin out wide. Hands to Simeon Robinson, and he's tackled quickly, trying to spin away, but is brought down. That was Western Hills defensive lineman Stephon Mitchell, who started the game with a big tackle. Robinson stopping to tie his shoe. That's a loss of 2. All placed on the 34. They'll make it second down and 11. Walnut goes to the wing formation. Another heavy set. Rivers takes the snap, back to pass, pressure coming. Rivers is going to be hit and dropped. A blitzing linebacker, Jaden Ramsey, again making a big play, and Rivers is dropped to the 44 for a big loss. Ball placed at the 42. It'll be third down and 21 for this Walnut Hills offense. Rivers gets the play from the sideline. No personnel changes for this third and long. As the two Thorntons, Bronson and Austin, all motion out wide. Rivers in the pistol. Back to pass. Rolls out left. Rivers is going to launch it deep. He's got a man out there, but he overthrows him by a half step. Joshua Thornton had a walk-in touchdown. He beat his man. Rivers could not hook up with him. Eddie Holston, the defensive back, on that play. And instead of a touchdown, it'll be a Walnut Hills punt. We'll get the first chance here to see sophomore punter Colin Ross in his first action with the varsity team. We'll get the snap from long snapper Zach Fiddler. Punt formation, back deep to receive. Western Hills wide receiver Jakari Gordon. It's a good punt. Gordon fielded at about the 9. He gets past the first defender and a second, and now he's off into the races. And he's finally tackled by Ty Austin right at about the 27-yard line. And the Western Hills offense will get to come back out with a bit more breathing room this time. Gordon was able to spring loose when sophomore linebacker Cam Fightmaster tripped up, but Austin was there to bring him down and pin the Western Hills offense back deep. We'll put the ball at the, looks like the 30-yard line, 6:24 on the game clock. Walnut Hills has a 2-0 lead over their old rivals. Well, I was like, there's no way.
But
Beckley's out for his second drive. Western Hills, coming into this year, the strength of their team was sure to be the O-line. So far, through 2 snaps, that has not been the case.
Yeah, well.
she sat by herself. That's good.
First and 10. Beckley takes the snap. He'll hand it off. And running to the right side, he's got a big hole. And he hit and dropped. Arian Carson had open space. Deshaun Hoskins said no. And he was dumped after a short gain. Carson picked up 7 on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. No pass attempts from Western Hills yet. 2nd down and 3 from the 22. Snap back. Quick screen pass goes off the hands of a defender and picked up by the Walnut Hills Eagles, and that's going to be a lateral pass. Christian Parker Rowe picks it up, and that's a turnover. What's the ruling here? Walnut football. Lateral pass backwards went off the hands of the intended target, and Christian Parker Rowe pounced on it. Another turnover, and Walnut's going to have the ball in the red zone. The brakes are going Walnut's way. 1st and 10 from the Western Hills 13. Logan Cooper into the game at offensive line. Rivers ready to take the snap from center Brady Nolman, with Robinson behind him. Rivers, high snap, gets it back, and Rivers is going to have to run for his life, and he's dragged down for a big loss. That play did not look good. Cordero Honecker took advantage and got the sack, and that puts Walnut well behind the sticks again. Nolman's snap went high, and 1 sack later, it's 2nd and 18. It's more like 2nd and 22. And I'll try another deep shot. Almost worked last time. Rivers, another low snap. This time he picks it back up. He throws it and it is intercepted. Dangerous pass, and Rivers just tried to force it in there, and it did not work. Devontae Sheely, an interception for Western Hills. The 2nd of the 1st quarter for Will Rivers. As teams are trading possessions like hotcakes. Simply not good form here. Rivers has been trying to force it too much. So 2 interceptions to start off the game for Will Rivers. This one will again back Western Hills up deep. They're at their own 6. Amir Williams will enter the game for Western Hills. He was their 3rd leading tackler last year. Didn't play much on offense. Backed up in the shadow of their own end zone. Beckley. Williams goes in motion to an empty set, now rolls back across. Beckley takes it himself, and he's hit and dropped by linebacker Charles Swift. Didn't get much out of that one. Beckley picked up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the Western Hills 9. Beckley probably still waiting for them to let him air it out. Beckley, back to pass. Quick throw over the middle. It's caught at the 20. It hit hard. Another big hit by Deshaun Hoskins, but pass was caught by Anthony McDonald, That'll give Western Hills a first down. As Beckley found a hole in the Walnut defense and got a quick strike for a first down. 3:47 left in the first quarter. It's still 2-0 Walnut after the safety. Rivers 2 picks in plus territory already. Imagine what the score could be if those didn't happen. Got a short delay here. Referees converging around the ball. Donovan Gale, hands out, asking what's happening. Looks like we're going to have a penalty on Walnut. Hoskins still out there, so not anything ejectable, but it will give Western Hills some extra yards. We get Hoskins for some roughness possibly on that hit. Move him up to the 35. Western Hills has time to breathe for the first time all game. Raheem Peoples enters the game at running back for the Mustangs. And he'll get the ball here. No, they'll keep it with Beckley. Beckley sprinting out to the left sideline, and he is tackled. It looked like Christian Parker, whose jersey was getting grabbed. Jordan Harris on that tackle after a pickup at 5. They'll credit the tackle to Fightmaster at second down. Second down and 5 from the Western Hills 40. Jackson and Swift move out to the line. Beckley takes the snap, hands Peoples, and now he keeps it, and Fightmaster is going to drop him for a big loss. Read that play all the way, and Cade Fightmaster is going to get a big tackle for a loss of about 7 and set up a 3rd and long for Western Hills. Loss of 8, 3rd down and 13 back at the Western Hills 32. 2:30 to play in the first quarter. Walnut with a 2-0 lead. Defense has been holding strong against this Western Hills front so far. Beckley. They send Holston in motion. He goes back, and Beckley wants to keep again. He's going to throw long. He's got a man on the sideline. Isaiah Kofer makes the catch. Not Kofer. That was Mecco Jets. Made a tough catch with Deshaun Hoskins in coverage. That's a big gain to the Walnut Hills 41. Found an open man, and Hoskins could not get over there in time. First and 10 for the Mustangs. Snap is fumbled by Beckley. He keeps it alive and just tosses it to the sideline. There's nobody there. And Beckley averts disaster on that snap from Justice. 2nd and 10. .139 on the first quarter clock. As Beckley's made some nice throws here, but that improvisation has really allowed him to play a role in this game. Beckley, sweep right side. Peoples, gonna have a lot of trouble, and he's brought down quickly. Jared Ross, Braylon Coleman in on that tackle. Loss of about 2 on the play brings it to 3rd and 12. Beckley has to navigate another tricky situation. Walnut brings men to the line. Gordon in motion. Beckley tosses it to him, and he's going to be hit, and the ball comes loose. Are they going to rule that a backward pass? It was picked up by a Walnut defensive back, Joshua Thornton. It looked like an incompletion. I haven't seen the down marker tick over. They are ruling it an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 12. Play was red.
Number 1 on what team? Oh, what?
And now we got a penalty. Penalty on Walnut. Might have been on that hit by Parker Rowe. In any case, the ball's now at Walnut's 28. And Western Hills is a fresh set of downs. So that's a couple of costly penalties already you do not want to see from this Walnut Hills defense. And it could have gotten off the field multiple times. Instead, 1st and 10 from the 28. Beckley with Peoples in the backfield. 2 receivers outright, Jett and Holston. And 2 to the left, Gordon and McDonald. Beckley ready for the snap from center Dan Yonk Justice at the 28. Walnut sneaks up to the line. They hand to Peoples. He's got a big lane to run up the middle, and it's going to be a gain of about 6 or 7. He is brought down by defensive back Eli Newman, but a pickup of about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 at the 22-yard line. 25 seconds and counting on this first quarter clock. As it's positive momentum for West High. Beckley ready for the pistol snap. And instead, they'll let the clock run out, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. Walnut Hills 2, West High nothing, but West High driving. We'll take a break and come back with second quarter action. Ready for the second quarter. As theme of the first quarter was unforced error by the Eagles. They're looking to clean that up. Beckley takes the snap And we'll get a quick flag. Play was whistled dead as Beckley was looking to toss it to Ezzy Holston. Doesn't look like the ball was moved at all. And they'll just keep it on the 27, so penalty did not affect much. As Beckley motions to his line and gives a signal. People still in the backfield. And we got a false start. That time, someone definitely jumped. Looks like it might have been Donnell Johnson. That'll set West High back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Those unforced errors, not just limited to Walnut. Second down and 14. Beckley still in the backfield with Peoples. Sends Gordon in motion. Takes the snap and tosses quickly over the middle. It's caught to about go about the 20, and he's swarmed by a bunch of Eagle defenders and dropped. And Walnut Hills saying the ball came out. It's recovered by Jonathan Jackson, but referees are going to whistle down. It was tackled by Braylon Dennis. They did not rule it a fumble. Couldn't see who caught it. Might have been Andrew McDonald. In any case, it's 3rd down. 3rd down and 7. Make it 6. Ball spotted on the 24. As Western Hills looking to continue their first good offensive drive of the night. Gordon runs in motion. They got trips wide to the left. And McDonald alone to the right. They hand it to Peoples. Peoples got a big hole through the middle. And the ball comes out at the end, but it looks like Western Hills pounces on it. Ezzy Holston was right there. Still no ruling. Looks like Holston was the first one to it, and he does have the football. It'll be 4th down and about 2. And West High's going to keep their offense out there. Fourth and 1 from the 20. Senior linebacker running back Arion Carson comes in. Walnut looking for a big stop here. Snap to Beckley. Hands it to Carson. He's got a big hole through the middle. He's up to the 10. He's up to the 5. Off a defender and tackled at about the 3-yard line. A shoestring tackle made by linebacker Jonathan Jackson. More than enough for a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for West High. And that's where that big Western Hills O-line comes through. Got a significant size advantage on that line. 1st and goal from the 3. Beckley in an empty set. Snap to Beckley. He takes it himself. Running straight. And he is stopped short. Beckley takes it to about the 1. And no one is saying they have the ball, and they do! As Jonathan Jackson comes up with a fumble that Beckley... Referees blowing their whistles. Walnut defense ran off the field. And it is Walnut football, and we got a man down for Western Hills. Oh, man. Even worse. That is 2 injuries on that play. So Beckley ran into a scrum. He got to about the 1 and then lost the football. Jackson came up with it. We have two separate Mustangs down. Can't see who they are, but I think Beckley might be one of them. As preparing to throw on the sideline, freshman quarterback Kelju Williams is getting some warm-up tosses in as Daniel Justice stands up and walks off the field. That big center, 350 pounds. And here comes the other one, and that's Beckley. He jogs off the field. So Justice and Beckley seem to be all right. And now Walnut's faced with the tall task of starting a drive from the 1. Think they might want to move the pocket to get away from that D-line, even with Justice off it, as Williams continues to throw after the injury. .9:56 in the second quarter clock. Walnut up 2-0. They got to start this drive at their own 1. Rivers under center. He'll stand up, and now a run to the left, and Rivers got some room to run past the 5 and out of the bounds at around the 8. Faked like he was going to just sneak out the middle to give Walnut extra space, and it worked out. We have a penalty down. Can't imagine a play from the 1. That's good for Walnut. And it will be a hold against Walnut, so Rivers' run is wiped out, and they'll have to try it again without the element of surprise. Rivers, again under center. Thornton in motion. Rivers just going to sneak it up the middle. He's got a little bit of a room to run. He gets to about the 7-yard line, and that's where he's tackled by Donnell Johnson. Second down and 2. Walnut's got some breathing room as Rivers and Robinson set up in the shotgun. And Fightmaster goes to the right wing. Rivers hands it off Robinson, and he won't get very much, if anything. No gain in the play for Simeon Robinson, and it'll be 3rd and 1. Last year, that's where you put in guys like Chris Potts, but he's out to Coleraine. 3rd and 1, ball on the Walnut Hills 9. Clock ticks down to 8 minutes. Walnut holding a 2-0 advantage, but looking to get some breathing room here. Austin and Rivers in the backfield with Austin, and they hand it to him. Austin got some room to work on the right side. Past the 15 to the 20. Austin, right down to the 30. Austin past the 40. He is gone. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, tie, Austin. A 91-yard rush for a Walnut Hills touchdown. They motioned Austin into the backfield. They gave it to him. He got by a defender, and he was gone. 91 yards to the house for Ty Austin. 8-0 Eagles. Walnut will come on for the extra point try. Colin Ross out of the hold of Eli Newman. As Austin had just swung this game in the Eagles' favor. Snap to Newman, hand kicks Ross, and the kick is good. And Walnut takes a 9-0 lead here in the second quarter. Ty Austin, just an electric player and one of the fastest track times, the 100 for all Walnut athletes, and he showed it off right there. Wow. Those are the kinds of guys that win you games. So, Walnut Hills 9, Western Hills nothing. After the fumble by Beasley. Looked like West High might have him stopped, and Austin just housed it.
Straight. Turn around.
Walnut Hills to kick off for the first time. Colin Ross, after making that extra point, will do the honors. Western Hills, 2 guys back deep to receive. Mecco Jet and Ezzy Holston. As they hold a 9-0 advantage over the Mustangs. Ross set to kick from the 40. Whistle. And someone was moving at the snap. Won't have a penalty. Whistle, and Colin Ross will run to the ball and kick it with his right foot, a low kick, beat it at about the 30, and up to the 35 to the 40, 45, 50, and he's finally dragged down inside Walnut territory. That was running back Aaron Mitchell, sophomore, who took that kick from Ross. He did not strike it right. And Western Hill will start the drive in plus territory. Beasley will come back out there after the injury. Ball placed at the 48 of Walnut Hills. Beasley in the backfield alongside Arion Carson. 2 receivers each side. Make that trips on the left as Holston motioned over to the left. Beasley hands Carson. Running left side to the 45, and that's all, as he was tripped up by defensive back Christian Parker Rowe for a gain of about 4. 2nd down and 6 at the 1 at 44. Western Hills experimenting with a stable of running backs. 2nd and 6 from the 44. They send Gordon in motion. And Beasley back to pass. He looks left, he looks middle, running out of time, throws it across the middle, and it's an incomplete pass. Jordan Harris was pretty close to it. As Beasley just overthrew his target, it's 3rd and 6. .6:59 in the second quarter, Walnut leading 9-0. After the safety and the electric touchdown run by Ty Austin. Beckley. I don't know why I started calling him Beasley. From the 44, Beckley, Carson in the backfield. Walnut looking for a 3 and out. Hands to Carson. Carson hit and dropped in the backfield by senior linebacker Jared Ross. It's fumbled and picked up by Holston. Holston is mobbed by the Eagle defense. It will be a 4th down regardless, as Jared Ross blew that play up, and it'll be a 4th down for Western Hills. Looks like we're going to have a timeout here. 4th and 14, 6:25 to play, 2nd quarter. Western Hills wants to talk things over. 4th and 14, they have not been able to do anything against this Walnut defense, and when they have, they've fumbled it away. Steichen. Their primary punter last year was the aforementioned Pasquale Portis, who is no longer on the team. But they will send out and Beckley will be the punter. Hoskins back deep to return. Walnut having a bit of confusion here. Hoskins runs back to return now, standing at about the 21. Beckley takes a high snap and punts it. And that is a low kick. Rolls to about the 25. And Hoskins will get away from it wisely as it's down by Western Hills at the 24. And that's where the Walnut offense will start the next drive, leading 9-0. Watch out.
Hey, where are you going? Here, come up here.
Rivers will be in the backfield alongside Simeon Robinson. 1st down and 10 from the Walnut Hills 24. Walnut looking to extend their 9-0 advantage. Rivers rolls out left and tosses deep left, and he missed his target. He was looking for Mark Bronson, who had to beat his man, Devontae Sheely, but Rivers' pass was well underthrown. It's 2nd and 10. Huddling up, 6:06 in the play clock. Thornton leaves the field, replaced by Malachi Lures on 2nd and 10. And Walnut will go to their 4 receiver set. Rivers, and we'll get a flag quickly as Rivers was trying to get a bubble screen to Mark Bronson. Instead, it'll be an offside penalty on Western Hills, and that'll give Walnut 5 free yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Rivers goes to the sideline to get the play. Rivers and Robinson in the backfield, and Walnut's 4 receivers will stay out there. Rivers back to pass. He's got time. He looks at deep. He's looking for Thornton, and Thornton goes up and makes the catch at the Walnut Hills 49. He fumbled it out of bounds. Regardless, he hauled that ball in for a gain of 20 and a first down for Walnut. Big, deep completion from Rivers to Thornton. 20-yard pickup and one of Rivers' best passes of the day. Need to see more of that from him this season. Was given time and he used it. Now, Walnut's in a wide formation. Austin on the wing. Rivers rolls to the right. Austin gets a good block. Rivers is going to take it himself past the 50 to the 45, and he's hit hard on the head. He got to about the Western Hills 41. Then Raheem Peoples hit him hard, but that'll be another solid gain for Walnut. It'll be 2nd and inches on a gutsy run by Will Rivers. Second and inches. Rivers in the backfield alongside Simeon Robinson, who's played almost every snap at running back. Rivers, option play left side, is going to take it and run again and give it to Robinson now. And Robinson past the 35 to the 30-yard line, and that's where he's taken down by linebacker Hiram Womack. Another 10-yard pickup for Walnut Hills. It'll be 1st and 10 for Walnut on the West High 30. Looking to extend their 9-0 advantage. The defense is operated and the offense just needs to cut down on those errors. Rivers in the backfield. They send Austin in motion. Rivers going to roll out to the right in an option play with Austin. He's just going to keep it himself. Rivers to about the 25, and that's where he's taken down by Hiram Womack. Another 5-yard pickup for Walnut. And this offense is working with these option plays. Saw in the scrimmages that Walnut was looking to implement more diverse play calls into their offense, being the Coach Miles' stated mission: we are the top school in Ohio, and they want to play smart, and part of that involves learning a lot of new stuff. 2nd down and 5 from the 25. Rivers in the pistol. Back to pass. Rivers given time. He throws it over the middle. Rivers to the end zone, and it is almost intercepted. Devontae Sheely nearly had a second pick, and Malachi Lures had to play defensive back to thrust it away. Rivers tried to fit it into triple coverage in the end zone. 3rd and 5. And that's, I think, where the biggest growth point will come from Rivers, that this offense has players. And if you don't try to force it, you can just let those players make plays. Heavy set for Walnut on 3rd and 5. They have 2 wings. Austin goes in motion to the left, and they're going to keep it with Rivers. He's going to turn around and run to the right side, and he's going to be dragged down from behind by linebacker Jaden Ramsey for a loss of 3. It'll be 4th down and 8. And Walnut on the 20 has a decision to make, and it looks like it's made for him. They're going to keep the offense out there. .325 and counting. Walnut ball, 4th and 8 on the West High 28. As they go wide, the double wing formation again with Thornton and Austin, and a whistle blows, and Walnut's going to talk this play over. First time out of the half by Walnut Hills and Coach G. Benjamin Miles. 3:06 to play in the 2nd quarter. Were they to try a field goal from here, it would be Colin Ross's first career attempt, and it would be a 46-yard attempt. For most high school kickers, that is beyond their range. And I don't see Colin Ross in that huddle ready to come out. Offense comes back out there. Let's see what Coach Miles has dialed up for this 4th and 8 play. Rivers ready to take the snap. Trips right, Austin. Trips left, Austin right. Robinson in the backfield. Rivers back to pass. He rolls out to the left. We have a flag on the play. Rivers going to throw it toward the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown by Joshua Thornton. Pending the flag, that is a Walnut Hills touchdown, but we'll see what the flag is. That came out very early on the play. It came out on the right side of the line. Penalties on Western Hills, and it's going to be a Walnut touchdown. Rivers rolled to the left, found Thornton, and the play stood, and now Walnut's up 15-0. Colin Ross ready for the extra point out of the hold, and Newman. He takes it. Ross back to kick, and it is good. Colin Ross 2 for 2 in his varsity debut, and Walnut Hills has extended their lead to 16-0. This would be their second highest point total of the entirety of last season, and the first half is not over. 2:59 to play in the second quarter. Walnut offense clicking as Rivers threw a beautiful pass to Thornton along the left sideline on 4th and 8. And Walnut's receiving core is looking better than ever. With Austin and Bronson were good last year, and now both Thorntons have made impact plays for this offense. 16-0, Walnut Hills. Colin Ross to kick it off with Holston and Mecco Jet deep to return. Walnut defense looking to keep this momentum as the Walnut Hills offense has scored in the last 2 drives. Now it's their turn. Walnut waving their arms. And whistle blows. Colin Ross puts his right foot to the ball, and another low kick is going to be fielded by McDonald at the 30. He goes down with it and just has to take it on his knees. And that's where Western Hills offense will start. They'll start at the Western Hills 30. 2:57 on the game clock, and they got to play catch up. This team that leans so heavily on their run game to beat some of their weaker opponents last year now finds themselves in a 16-0 hole. It's not as easy to run when you have to go 70 yards in 3 minutes. 2 timeouts left for the Mustangs. Beckley and Carton will line up in the backfield with 2 receivers each side. I've yet to see senior Donovan Gale make a big play tonight. Could be his turn. Hands off Mecco Jet. Jet sweep right side to the 35 and breaks out of a tackle, but plenty of Walnut defenders there to clean it up. They push the pile to about the 39, and that's where Mecco Jet will be downed. The clock will run. It's 2:40 and counting. Western Hills gets about a 9-yard pickup. Clock under 2:30. Mustangs have to hurry. Second down and 2 from the Walnut 39 from the Western Hills 39. Beckley in the backfield alongside Carson. Beckley back to pass. Looks over the middle. Quick catch made. Dropped by McDonald. Hit McDonald right in the chest, and he could not haul it in. It'll be 3rd and 2. Nuthouse gets loud. 3rd down and 2. Defense looking for another stop to give it back to Will Rivers in the offense. Rivers just threw his first touchdown pass of 2024. Wants to go back out there and score some more points before this first half ends. Beckley hands Carson. Carson going to get the yards and more as he crosses the 45. And that's where he's stopped. At the back of the pile was senior linebacker Jared Ross. First down for Western Hills. Clock at 2, runs under 2 minutes since they started for the first down. Beckley, Carson in the backfield. 1:50 to go. Ball on the 45. Beckley snaps it back. He's back to pass. Another short throw is going to go wide. I was intended target Mecco Jets with Christian Parker Rowe in coverage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. .142 to play in the first half. Western Hills on their own 45. 2nd down and 10. Carson remains in the backfield to the left of Beckley. And Beckley's back to pass again. He rolls out to the right. He cuts inside, and he is going to be taken down quickly by sophomore defensive end Braylon Coleman, who used quick agility to get to Beckley from behind and drag him down for no gain. 3rd and long. Coach Miles not going to use this timeout here with the clock running down to 1:20. 3rd down and 12. That was a 2-yard tackle for loss by Coleman. Clock runs to 1:12 as Beckley just now gets the call from Coach Derek Webster. Carson lines up to his left, 2 receivers each side. Clock runs under 1 minute. Ball at the 43. Beckley waits to receive the snap from Justice, gets it, rolls right, looking for a short pass, not there, throws it deep, and that's going to be way overthrown his intended target, Mecco Jet, and it's going to be 4th down and 10 with 46 seconds to play in the half. Rivers was, Beckley was harassed by, I believe it might have been Joshua Thornton, could not get his release correct and way overthrew Jet. 4th and 12. Punt team back this time, they're more organized. Hoskins and Parker Rowe. Both inside the 30 of Walnut. And here's Beckley back to punt. And we'll get a whistle. We got a quick substitution as Western Hills going to run Womack off the field, and sprinting onto it, senior Sean Jones. Beckley remains in punt formation, clock still at 46 seconds. And now Beckley looking at the sideline. Beckley still looking at the sideline. And we're going to need a timeout here from Western Hills to figure out whatever this is. So West High down 16-0 to the Eagles. They have to punt it back with 46 seconds left. Timeout is over, and Hoskins and Parker Rowe will return to where they were with Beckley back to punt. Beckley evidently wanted to figure something out. Might have been the blocking scheme, because heaven knows you do not want a punt to be blocked when you're down 16-0. Need to stop the bleeding. Beckley back to punt. He gets the snap. Blocking is good. And running into him was Newman, and the punt sails out of bounds at about the 30. Newman will not get penalized for that. It'll be 39 seconds for the Walnut Hills offense to try and get some points out of this. Let's see where they spot this punt. It went out of bounds in the air. And they'll spot it on the Walnut 40 with 39 seconds to play. Excellent first half for Walnut so far. 39 seconds to play. Rivers lands him in the backfield. 2 receivers right, 2 left. And he's back to pass. Quick throw goes to Lewis, and it is intercepted. Looks like he might have dropped it. He was looking for Lewis. He threw it wide, and Devontae Shealy got hands on it, but could not survive the ground. It'll be 2nd and 10. And that is not the kind of pass you want to make here if you're Will Rivers. You do not want to give this offense back the ball. Could just kneel it out. Western Hills only has 1 timeout after that mix-up on the punt. Rivers, back to pass, rolls out right. It's got a layers scheme, and he's just going to throw it up, and Jeremiah Thornton cannot make a one-handed catch. Western Hills defended it well, and Rivers' only option was to try and get it to Thornton, and Thornton couldn't haul it in. 25 seconds to play, 3rd and 10. Sun sets on a cool August evening. Walnut up 16-0. And looking for a big play here on 3rd and 10 to try to get some more points before the half. Rivers, he'll just hand it off to Robinson, who cuts to the left side and gets brought down at about the 45. Not nearly enough for a 1st down. And head coach Joe Grubster will just let it wind. And that will bring the first half to an end. As the clock runs out, and the Walnut Hills Eagles have not looked like a team that's lost 27 in a row tonight. They lead West High 16-0 as we head into the half. We'll take a break. Back with more football. as the Walnut Hills Marching Blue and Gold performs their first and certainly not worst halftime show of the year. Let's take a look at some scores around the city. Around the conference, at the half, Springboro currently leads Little Miami by a score of 24-0. Winton Woods, in their high-profile game, they lead Springfield 16-0 at the half. Springfield made it very far in the state playoffs last year. Turpin in a shootout against Oak Hills. I'm sure that was super expected. Oak Hills leads that one 21-17. West Claremont leads Mount Healthy at the half 13-12. And Anderson heads down to Kentucky. They are blowing out their outmatched opponent, South Oldham, 37-0 at the half. Harrison leads Loveland by a score of 21-7. Lebanon, not yet at the half, but they led New Albany 14-7. That was early in the second quarter. Kings lead Sycamore 14-7. They're looking for a big year with Grantner and Nate Lyman in his senior year. Milford up big on Edgewood, 27-3. Walnut takes them on in the Nut House next week. Lakota West up on St. Xavier in that high-profile matchup. They lead 14-7. Moeller at the half, they lead Princeton 14-7. Big star of that one, Matt Ponatoski, with two 40-plus yard touchdown passes. And LaSalle leads Coleraine, the only other D1 team besides Walnut to go winless last year. They lead 7-0. When we return, we're ready for the third quarter of action. Walnut Hills 16, West High, nothing. Welcome back from Mark Stadium, where Walnut Hills currently holds a 16-0 advantage in their season opener against the Western Hills Mustangs. First half started off relatively slowly. Will Rivers threw 2 picks in the first quarter, but one of them was so deep in Western Hills territory that the defense was able to turn into a safety by Braylon Coleman. And from there, the Walnut offense has picked up the pace as Ty Austin broke off a 91-yard touchdown run in the second. Then later on in the quarter, a 28-yard touchdown pass from Will Rivers to Joshua Thornton put the score at 16-0. Rivers with an up and down day, but he's done enough to put the Eagles where they are. And meanwhile, the Western Hills offense has had no answers for this young and hungry Walnut core. Deshaun Hoskins, Christian Parker Rowe, and Jonathan Jackson, all big standouts. They've been flying around, swarming to the ball and making big hits. Now, although they've had a couple of unfortunate penalties, that have been the only blips for this defense. As countdown clock to the second half, under 30 seconds. As in the middle of the field, Donovan Gale meets Amir Williams, the defensive stars of these teams. It's like a coin flip. And we'll have a 3-minute countdown for the teams to get some second half warm-ups in. Gale and Williams still meeting in the middle of the field.
I guess they took.
I go, I thought it was 11.
Yeah, 45 it says, oh, my bad. He told, I said, that's exactly what he said. I said, clearly. But he said,
States.
I'm gonna-
Scott John.
Whistle sound and 30 seconds in the warm-up clock. Both teams will head toward the sidelines. Eagles race back to the sideline, and they will kick it off to start the third quarter. Back deep to receive Jakari Gordon and Ezzy Holston. Walnut not yet in position, and now that here they come. Colin Ross generally solid on his 2 kickoffs in the first half. Having a good first day of varsity action. The sun is set, and Ross places the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. Whistle sounds, and here we go. Ross with a low right-footed kick at the 30, bounces to about the 20, and fielded. That's where it's fielded. He's going to have to make a lot of men miss, and he doesn't. Ezzy Holston picked it up and was taken down inside the Western Hills 25. Good kickoff from Colin Ross. It'll be another long field for West High. Omari Beckley had that critical fumble in the first half. Cost West High their best chance at points this game. He'll take the snap to kick off the third quarter with Walnut crowding the line. 1st and 10. Beckley hands it off, and he is hit quickly. He'll get almost nothing. That was Aaron Mitchell, sophomore running back for West High, was met by a swarm of Eagles. 2nd down. They'll give him nothing. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 from the West High 24. West High has rotated through a big stable of running backs. Last year they gave almost all the carries to CMAC Player of the Year Isaiah Camp. Beckley back to pass. Quick toss goes over the middle, and it is nearly intercepted. Overthrew it badly, and Christian Parker Rowe almost had a play on it. Intended for Ezzy Holston. It'll be 3rd and long. And this has not been a good first varsity start for Omari Beckley. Had some dazzling moments in that first quarter. Since then, Walnut has kept them in check. 11-10 to play in the third quarter. Walnut holding a 16-0 advantage, and we got a Walnut player down. Got an Eagle holding his right leg. This was a big problem in the early stages of last season. All these injuries added up on this Walnut defense. Still can't see who it is.
Oh, thanks. So.
Player's still down. They're going to get him some water. Gets his head up. And he's going to sit up. And that's Jonathan Jackson Jr. Promising sophomore linebacker is going to jog off the field. Got up after about a minute. He's made some gutsy plays in that first half. Would be sad to see him out for an extended period of time. Walnut will bring in Jared Ross at linebacker as well. 3rd down and 10 for West High. They crew up to the line. Beckley, back to pass. Pressure coming. Beckley trying to run away. Beckley just going to have to throw it away. He was pressured. by Cade Fightmaster, senior defensive end. And West High is going to go 3-and-out in their first possession again. Coverage held up. Defense held up. Still says 3rd down. Here's 4th down. Took a while to update. 3-and-out for the West High Mustangs to start off this second half. They were down 16-0. Parker Rowe and Ty Austin will be deep to receive the punt from Beckley. High snap. He gets the punt away, and Parker Rowe will watch it sail out of bounds near midfield. So a pretty good punt. It'll be about 25 to 30 yards, depending on where they spot this. Walnut Hills will get the ball in plus territory, or very close to it. They will spot it at the Walnut Hills 49. That was a 27-yard punt by Beckley. And the Walnut Hills offense will take over for their first drive of the second half. They lead 16-0. As two backs stand to the right of Rivers in a double wing formation, and we got a big whistle. Play starts. Rivers sends Austin in motion. Rivers going to roll to the right, pitch Austin. He's got to get the corner. He does, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, 35, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Big run, Ty Austin, knocked out of bounds by defensive back Jakari Gordon. And Western Hills linebacker Amir Williams is slow to get up. He pushes a guy off him. He thinks he's fine. Big run there, Ty Austin gets the Eagles to the West High 30. Austin over 100 rushing yards on the day with that 91-yard touchdown run earlier. Rivers sets up in a single wing, trips wide left, and sends Austin behind him. Rivers, left side option, pitch Austin, goes to the 30, Austin to the 25, to the 20, 15, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds, hit hard by Western Hills defensive back Raheem Peoples, but another first down run for Ty Austin on these option plays. 125 rushing yards for Ty Austin. And we got a penalty. Ball is placed back at the 30. And looks like a false start. Something. Ball is not moved from the 30 where it started. Not sure what that was, but they will redo the down. First down and 10. Rivers in the eye. Two receivers wide right, Thornton and Bronson. Rivers going to hand it off to the up back. Trying to make a man miss. He does. To the 25, to the 24. And that is where the back is swarmed. And Mark Bronson, I think. Someone's coming up limping. Joshua Thornton walks off the field. 5-yard gain by possibly Robinson. I couldn't really see. Rivers lines up in the single wing. Jeremiah Thornton to the right. Two receivers right, one left. Simeon Robinson behind him. Second down and 10, 5 from the 25. Rivers sends a man in motion. That's Lures. Sends him to the line to a double wing. Rivers Sends Lures in motion again, turns around, pitches to Lures. High snap, and he is leveled by Western Hills defensive back Jaden Ramsey for a big loss in the backfield. Malachi Lures drop for a loss of about 9. It'll be 3rd and long. And that play was read by Ramsey from the outset. Eight and a half minutes here in the first quarter, or third quarter. 3rd and 13 as Austin comes back onto the field. 3 receivers right and Austin alone to the left. Rivers in the pistol. Takes the snap, rolls to his right. Rivers going to set up, pressure coming, throws deep. And Jeremiah Thornton almost made a great catch, but he was out of bounds. He'll be 4th and long. Thornton comes up limping now. Thornton really had to contort himself to try to make that catch, and he came up limping after a bit. 4th and 13. Can't see what personnel Walnut has out there right now. And it's the offense. Walnut's going to go for it on 4th and 13 from the Western Hills 34. 8:04 on the game clock. They need to get to the 21. Rivers back. Rivers running out of time. Scrambles to the right. Pressure coming from 3 Mustangs. He throws it, and it's incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs for the Walnut offense. Rivers, all of his options were out to the left, but he was forced by pressure from step to the right, and there weren't many options there. Rivers had to throw it out of bounds, and West Howe get the ball back at their own 34. 7:53 on the third quarter game clock. West High went 3 and out, not gaining a yard on their first drive of the half. Encouraging sign for the Walnut defense. Jonathan Jackson Jr. coming right back out there after his shakeup on that 3rd and 10. So hopefully all is well with him. First and 10, Beckley sets up in a shotgun. Arion Carson off his left hip, 2 receivers left, 2 right. And Beckley, and it looks like a Walnut player jumped. Linebacker Leule Mesfin crept up to the line and mistimed the snap. Stepped over the line, and a Walnut Western Hills player got a paw on him, and that'll be 5 free yards. It'll be 1st and 5 from the West High 39. Same formation, 2 right, 2 left. Beckley, back to pass, hands off, Carson. Has to bounce out to the right, and now he's hit and dropped in the backfield by defensive back Xander Hargis. Another one of those backs that are known for hitting hard on this Walnut team alongside Hoskins. Xander Hargis dropped Carson with a shoestring tackle. It's a loss of 2. Make it a loss of 3. They spot the ball back toward the 36. 2nd down and 8 for this West High offense. And Walton basically able to mitigate the size advantage between them and this big Western Hills O-line. Beckley changes the play at the line. Now steps back. Carson off his left-hand hip, 3 receivers left, 1 right. He hands to Carson again, and Carson makes it through a hole in the middle, and he's hit and dropped by defensive back Jordan Harris, but not before a gain of about 7 or 8. It'll be 3rd and short. They spot the ball at the 43, so it'll be 3rd and about Third and a short 2. As they'll send in sophomore running back Aaron Mitchell to spell Carson. 3rd and 1. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Beckley in the gun, 6:13 to play. Beckley hands Mitchell. Mitchell's got the first down, and not much more than that. He's tackled by sophomore Braylon Coleman, but he crossed the 45 and made the first down for West High. And a Walnut players down. Down to the line. It looks like that's linebacker Charles Swift. He's laid out on his back, and the Walnut trainers will come to look at him. Walnut's linebacking core being tested. As the second time someone has been shook up. In this second half. Swift receiving water from the Walnut trainers. Senior, one of the heart and souls of this defense, got injured early last year as well. One of those guys that just swarms to the ball whenever he's out there. And Swift has finally stood up, and he will be jogging off toward the sideline, greeted by his teammates and a big cheer from the Nut House. So between Jackson Jr., Swift, and Ross, that is now 2 injured linebackers. 5:57 and counting. Beckley in the backfield. Alongside Peoples, who gets the handoff running right side to the 50, and he's hit and dropped by defensive back Deshaun Hoskins. Ball came out at the end of the play. Looks like West High recovered. Hoskins delivered another nice open field tackle to mitigate the lead, as now limping off is Amir Williams of Western Hills, who got shook up earlier this game. 2-yard pickup for West High, 2nd and 8. Receivers motion around. Beckley currently in an empty set. Game clock runs toward 5 minutes left in this third quarter. 16-0 Eagles. Beckley back to pass. Over the middle. And it is caught by Holston. And he's dropped at about the Walnut Hills 42-yard line. Enough for a first down, as Ezzy Holston found a hole in the defense. And Beckley put it on the money. Western Hills enters plus territory. They have been on a methodical drive so far. 4:40 on the game clock in this third quarter. Beckley, snap, handoff, and running through the right side. Big run, and he's taken down at about the 30. Another chunk play by John Tavius Whaley now, a new running back. Gets down to about the Walnut Hills 30. And this Walnut Hills defense starting to be worn down. 12-yard pickup for Whaley. Big physical back. And he stays in the game off of Beckley's left hip. Beckley, quick pass. Now he's going to look long, throwing deep toward the end zone. And it's incomplete as a wrestling match happened. Walnut had a linebacker on. They were looking for Devontae Seeley, but Jordan Harris was there to break it up. Senior defensive back for the Eagles, 2nd and 10. .358 to play in the third quarter. Walnut Hills 16, Western Hills 0. Walnut crowds the line on 2nd and 10. Handoff goes to Whaley, and Whaley is hit and dropped after a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Jared Ross made that tackle, make that Jonathan Jackson. It'll be 3rd and about 5, and Western Hills got an injured player, it's Ezzy Holston. Down in the field. Was making a block, I think may have gotten stepped on. They'll give Whaley 6 yards on that big power run. Right now, we're just making sure Ezzy Holston's okay. Walnut's only gotten 1 drive this half. That ended with an incomplete pass on a 4th and 13. That started this drive for West High. And Holston's going to be helped off the field by 2 trainers. He was a promising sophomore for these Mustangs. So after another delay, they'll have Beckley with Whaley off his left hip once again. He's been strong in the power run game that these Mustangs want to use. 3rd and 4 from the 23-yard line. Beckley gets the snap. He hands to Whaley. Beckley tried to keep it, fumbled the snap, and it goes to the Eagles. All indications were that Walnut fell on it, and they have the football. Beckley tried to yank it away from Whaley and run for a 1st down. He fumbled it, and Walnut fell on it. That was Christian Parker Rowe. And now here comes some taunts from the Nut House. On Western Hills, another scoring threat ends with a turnover, and they stay off the board. 3:26 to play in this third quarter. Walnut retains their 16-0 lead, and their offense will come back out. Walnut will send trips to the right side. Those are Austin, Jeremiah Thornton, and Joshua Thornton, and Bronson alone out to the left. Rivers in a gun, gets the snap, back to pass, throws it deep across the middle. It is caught, no, it's dropped! Mark Bronson won his rep. Rivers placed a dot into double coverage. Mark Bronson could not make the catch near midfield. Second and 10. Mark Bronson, one of 2 active players in this team with a college offer. He and Fightmaster both have offers from Mount St. Joseph University. Got to make those catches. Second and 10, 2 receivers each side for the Eagles. Rivers back to pass. Pressure coming, 2 defenders coming in his face, and Rivers just has to throw it toward the sideline as a Walnut player, Jeremiah Thornton, was over there, made the catch and ran out of bounds. Pretty nice footwork there from Thornton, but it's only a 5-yard pickup. make it 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. .3:12 to play in the third quarter. Western Hills plagued by these fumbles. 3rd and 6 from the 25. Simeon Robinson stays off of Rivers' right hip. They'll do a single wing formation with Austin off the left. And he's back to go. He's off the speed option. Rivers is going to run for it. To the 20, to the 30. Rivers to the 35, to the 40. And he's finally tripped up after a big gain. Will Rivers, the 6'5" quarterback, got some wheels and a first down for Walnut on 3rd down and 6. Rivers picked up 19 yards on that run to the 44. Using Rivers' legs a lot more than they were last year. Last year he just had, I think, only 18 rushing yards. They've been using him on these option plays. Army style. 3 receivers in a heavy set. Wide to the right. Austin goes in motion. They pitch it to Austin. He's got a lot of work to do. He gets to the sideline and not much further as he gets hit hard out of bounds by linebacker Hiram Womack. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 as the third quarter clock ticks under 2 minutes. Second and 10 from the Walnut 44 as Walnut goes in a single wing set. Austin off to the left and 2 back to the backfield. Rivers back to pass, hands it off to running to the right side. Flag is thrown as Jeremiah Thornton picked up about 2. We'll see what this penalty flag is. Referee signal. For a hold, and now the ball's going backwards.
Yeah.
So that'll back Walnut up 10 yards. 2nd and 20 from the 34. Sean Jones hurries off the field and back on. Walnut 3 receivers left. Lures out to the right. Rivers back to pass. Pressure coming. Shows a screen and it's dropped. Rivers threw it low, trying to get it to Austin, who had a little bit of space to work. 3rd and very long coming up. Minute 4 to play in the third quarter. 16-0. Walnut looking to extend this drive with a big 3rd down conversion right here. 3rd and 20. Rivers with Simeon Robinson off his right-hand hip. Austin alone to the right and 3 receivers out to the left. Rivers is back to pass. He rolls out to the left. God's got a layers concept. Rivers going to chuck it deep. He's got a man. It is caught. Bronson at the 30. Bronson to the 20, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Rivers to Bronson, a 66-yard touchdown pass. He caught it at the 20 and raced into the end zone, and that's going to extend the Eagles' lead. We have some whistles. I don't see any laundry. And there is none. 66 yards, Rivers to Bronson. 22-0 Eagles. All the receivers on that side looked over towards Ty Austin on the right. He was alone. Nobody picked up Bronson, and he won his rep, making up for that huge drop earlier. And here's Ross on for the extra point out of the hole to Newman. Takes the snap, back to kick. Ross puts it through the uprights. 3 for 3 on the day in his varsity debut. Walnut Hills 23, Western Hills 0, with 52 seconds to play in the third quarter. So both veteran members of Walnut's receiving core with 65-plus yard touchdowns, plus the new face, Joshua Thornton, with a 28-yard touchdown. Rivers' second touchdown pass of the day. For Bronson, it's the third touchdown catch of his career. Colin Ross, back to kick. 23-0, the lead. And Western Hills has 3 guys back deep, including Ezzy Holston back out there. Colin Ross kicks it high this time. Good hang time, and it's fielded by Peoples. Lets the ball go through his hands, and Westside has to scoop it up. That's Gordon at the 21. That's all he gets. Good high hang time kick from Colin Ross, and a Walnut player is down on the sideline. That was the guy who made the tackle to force Jakari Gordon out of bounds. And it's Ty Austin. Oh, no. That is about the last guy you would want to see down on a special teams play. On a unit that's been relatively sound today. Austin already with the 91-yard touchdown today. And he sits up and falls back over. Oh boy. Is that Austin? Thought I saw 4. That is not Ty Austin. Apologies. Probably gave someone a heart attack. And he's still down on the sideline. The show's going to go on. Finally hopping up. That's Xander Hargis, who is injured. He stands up and walks back toward the blue medical tent. I'm sure it's his destination. Western Hills will have Beckley at the 21 and an empty set. 44 seconds to play, and Walnut's up 23-0. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Beckley in an empty set. Walnut crowds the line. Pressure coming, Mesfin, and it is through the hands of Joshua Thornton, who almost had a pick as Leule Mesfin came screaming off the edge. Hit Beckley as he passed, and Thornton had to go right through his fingertips. Second down and 10. Turnovers have been the Achilles heel for this Western Hills team, especially those fumbles, but no picks yet. That was almost number 1. Beckley now with 3 receivers to his left. And Walnut jumped off sides. Pretty much the entire right side of the Walnut Hills D-line went to time up the snap. The snap was not there, and a 5-yard penalty will bring the Mustangs to the Western Hills 26, second down and 5. After his impressive running on that last drive, Jontavius Woley, freshman, stays in the game for this drive. Western Hills has been rotating a lot of running backs, but he's had a nice spark in the power run game. They give it to him here. He runs to the right side of the 25 to the 30, and that's where he's stopped. Donovan Gale, among others, in on that scrum. And it will not be enough for a first down. We'll see where forward progress takes Woley. They'll spot it about a half yard shy of the line to gain. 9 seconds on the third quarter clock. West High looks in no rush to snap this. 4 seconds, and they'll just let the clock run out. Through 3 quarters, Walnut Hills 23, West High 0. As the big highlight of the quarter, a 66-yard passing touchdown from Will Rivers to Mark Bronson. And Walnut Hills is 12 minutes away from snapping the 4th longest losing streak in Ohio.
My clock.
In Walnut Hills' most recent win, September of 2021, they had multiple 65-yard touchdowns from current Toledo Rocket, Javian Bostic. And here they've done it again with a 91-yard touchdown from Austin and a 66-yarder from Bronson. Another notable thing, as Austin's going to come into the game to play some free safety. I was just about to say they have not seen much two platoon, but Ty Austin's that good. It's just a special exception. 3rd down and 1 to start the 4th quarter. Beckley hands off Woley. Woley in trouble losing the football. He'll fall on it, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 1. Jontavius Woley had trouble handling it. Deshaun Hoskins came in there to blow up the play. 4th down and 4. And here comes the punt team. Down 23-0, West High. Not going to try and go for it here in the 4th quarter. Parker Rowe back deep to receive. The punt from Beckley. Beckley back, and Fightmaster got almost to it. Parker Rowe grabs at the 40, moves to the 45, penalty flag flies to the 49. That was not a penalty flag, that was a ball spot. So Parker Rowe gets to the 49, and that's where this Walnut offense will start their next drive. 11:05 to play in this ball game. 23-0. I'd imagine that Coach Miles is not going to let his starters come out. They want to be on the field to celebrate this win if it does end up coming to fruition. Walnut in a 2-back set on the Western Hills 45. Thornton goes in motion. They hand it to Robinson, going to the left side, and he doesn't get very much, if anything, as Drayshawn Noah, senior leader of this Western Hills defensive line, made a big tackle on Simeon Robinson. And he's having trouble getting up. Oh, brother. Drayshawn Noah, 3.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss last year. He also has an offer from Mount St. Joseph. He was looking for a big senior season to really get his name into those college recruiting profiles. Right now he's down after making that tackle for loss on Simeon Robinson. In the second half, we have just seen these teams get worn down as a dozen or more Mustangs kneeling in prayer for him. Noah's flat on his back. A dozen Eagles on the sideline also looking at him, and it's almost the entire team at this point. Noah still on his back. They're looking at his right leg. Man, that would be a brutal punch if Noah were to miss any time this year. He is the linchpin of this West High defense. The nut house mostly silent, as Noah has still not gotten up. And Noah finally sits up and gets on two legs, jumps around, and walks off the field, favoring one leg, but under his own power. Looks like he didn't. Nothing looks too bad. He made the great tackle on Simeon Robinson. That put Walnut behind the sticks. Robinson's gotten almost every touch at running back. Didn't really play before this year, but he's shown out well, as he had to break off a big one, but that's what the receivers are for. Single wing set. Austin on the right, Robinson behind Rivers, and Rivers going to take the snap. He'll run an option to Austin. He'll pitch it right. Austin snags with one hand, and he'll get to about the 40-yard line. That could have been disastrous, but Ty Austin turned it into a solid gain. Austin trots off the field as Thornton enters for him, gives him a breather. It's 3rd and 6 from the Walnut Hills 41 as the game clock goes under 10 minutes to play. Rivers with Robinson behind him, Lewers and Thornton wide left, and one other receiver wide right as Joshua Thornton in the single wing. As Rivers back to pass, rolls out to the left. Rivers has room to run if he wants. Rivers now throws it to the sideline. It is caught inside the 15-yard line, and that's hauled in by Joshua Thornton, his second big catch of the day. The sophomore showing out in his first action at wide receiver. And that goes 27 yards, Rivers to Thornton. Walnut now in the red zone at the Western Hills 14. Looking for what could be considered an exclamation point. Rivers now lines up in the I formation. Bronson wide right and Josh Thornton wide left. Robinson, the fullback. Thornton, the upback. They hand it to Thornton. Thornton cuts to the right side, looks for a hole, doesn't have one. And he'll push himself forward to about the 12. Not a big gain, but a gain. And according to the officials, no, it's actually no gain. 2nd and 10. Austin comes back onto the field to give Josh Thornton a spell. He'll line up in a double back formation, the I, as the tailback behind Robinson. Austin gets the handoff to the right side, and he will not go anywhere as senior linebacker Karam Womack got his hands on Austin's legs and dragged him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 6. Can tell that West High knows that Walnut wants to get the ball to Austin. Third down and 16. Game clock under 8 minutes. Thornton, Bronson wide right, Austin the single wing off the left with Lures. One-on-one all the way to the left. Rivers back to pass. Got plenty of time. Rivers gonna uncork it toward the sideline for Austin. He catches it and he runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. 21 yards. Will Rivers to tie Austin. The combination we know and love, and that will give Walnut a 29-0 lead. 3 touchdowns on the day for Rivers, second for Austin, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. And they are simply, since this first quarter, Will Rivers has been throwing it to every part of the field with accuracy. Snap to Newman and the kick from Ross. He knocks it through. Ross is 4 for 4 on extra points. And Walnut Hills has extended their lead to 30-0 over the Western Hills Mustangs. Boy, does this feel good. After a short sideline party, here comes Colin Ross back to kick. West High sends 2 deep receivers, Raheem Peoples and Mecca Jet. Mecca Jet. Colin Ross for his 5th kickoff of the day. This is the most points Walnut scored in a while. They break the 30 mark. And Ross moves up to the line and kicks with his right foot, a low one, fielded about the 40, and he'll let it go out of bounds at about the 35. Penalty flag flies, and Western Hills will just choose between getting at the 35 or getting at the 35. And with a 30-point lead in OHSAA football, the running clock turns on. So even after this kickoff, it'll just stay as Walnuts reach that mark and for once, they're on the right end of it. Walnut still not putting in their backups. Most of the starting linemen are still out there. Leule Mesfen getting plenty of run. He had that good play on their last drive. He'll get rewarded with more playing time for that, I'm sure. Also into the game, Jonathan Smith, freshman defensive tackle. And some whistles will stop play. Whistles will not stop the running clock, but will slow the game down as the clock goes under 6 minutes. Fight Master taking a back seat. His day is most likely done, as Beckley lines up and look to the sideline now. Woley continues to play at running back. I think he's going to be a gem from the way I've seen him play in his first varsity action. Gets the handoff here. Woley cuts to the right side, needs to find a hole, and he does, but he is brought down by Jared Roth. The penalty flag flies. There was a big scramble. Could have had someone get tugged. Penalty will continue to run the clock as it goes down to 5 minutes. Penalties against Walnut. It'll be a 5-yarder. Possible. Now the clock stops. And now it runs again while they were resetting the ball. Clock under 5 minutes. Beckley, back to pass. Quick pass goes over the middle. And it's off the hands of senior Jakari Gordon. And then Ty Austin almost got a hand on it. Incomplete pass from Beckley to Gordon. As something's happening over on the Western Hills sideline. Clock continues to run. And now order seems to be restored. Freshman wide receiver Zion Evans enters the game for West High. Derek Whips is going to get his young guys some experience with the game out of hand. And Beckley rolls out left. Beckley going to set up the pass. Now Coleman's coming. And now he's brought down. No, he's still alive. Hoskins couldn't get him down. Beckley sprints out and finally buried by Cade Fightmaster at about the Walnut Hills 49. Beckley showed some impressive athleticism. The transfer from LaSalle hasn't had the best of nights, but he has some wheels. Under 4 minutes to play. Beckley, Woolley off his right hand hip. Hands to him. Woolley gets through a hold of the 30 to the 42, and that's where he's about tackled by defensive back Jordan Harris. Whaley still showing those impressive wheels. Clock ticks down to about 3 minutes. Second and a long 2. Beckley takes the snap, back to pass. Beckley going to launch it deep. He's looking for Jet, and Parker Rowe is going to get called for pass interference as he was beaten on the rep and just had to grab at Mecco Jet's shirt sleeve. That'll be a 15-yard penalty on Parker Rowe. We'll take him down to the 27-yard line. Clock will still run while they set this ball up. Now it'll stop. Ball placed on the 27. .210 and counting on the running clock. Beckley moving it down the field with poise on this drive. And we have a penalty flag. Mecco Jet was a little too angsty and he jumped off sides. Clock will run. Ball will now be at the 32 of Walnut. 1st and 15. Minute 40 on the clock.
He told me because he told Fred what he read. He told me last one. He made very clear.
Jarek Webster's Mustangs in no rush. Eagles looking to run on the field. Beckley takes the snap, hands to Whaley. Whaley runs to the right side through the past the 30 to the 25, which is where he's tackled. And Mark Bronson was out there playing some defensive back. Western Hills takes a timeout. Clock stops a little late, and we got an injured Eagle. Not a timeout for West High, but an injury timeout with 53 seconds on the game clock.
When it's over,
It was, again, Jonathan Jackson Jr., who was hurt earlier this game. His first real action at linebacker, and this time he's going to need help off the field. With only a minute to go. You question why he was out there. But earlier, Coach Miles is going to want his starters to be in the field when this game ends over. So it's going to mean a lot. Some of these players, Donovan Gale, Christian Parker Rowe, Jordan Harris, Mark Bronson and Deshaun Hoskins. All these seniors have not seen a win since they were freshmen. And that is why you see a lot of these Walnut seniors now coming out for these final few snaps, alongside some newer faces like Braylon Coleman and Cam Fightmaster. Ball on the 26, second down and 9. Beckley, back to pass, quick toss goes over the middle. It's caught by Jakari Gordon at the Walnut Hills 14. And we got a whistle. Clock stops at 25 seconds. Derek Webster going to take his first time out with 25 seconds just to see if his Mustangs can get in the end zone before this game is over. Western Hills still had all 3 timeouts left. Neither team has called a timeout this entire half. Walnut, no need, and West High is not in any hurry. Walnut looks to extend their win streak to 5 straight over the Mustangs. The last time they lost, 2010. Western Hills still leads the overall series 10-8. But in 25 seconds of game time, this team might have a bigger weight off their shoulders. Beckley in an empty set. Back to pass. Quick toss goes right side, goes to Jet. Mecco Jet to the 10. And Jet, they're trying to chase him down. Dennis can't touch down West High. Raced by defensive back Braylon Dennis around the left side, and West High breaks the shutout with 13 seconds to play in the ball game. Western Hills did not attempt any kicks last year, so they will be going for 2 to try to make it a 30-8 ball game. And the clock runs during this 2-point conversion. Beckley in the backfield. Whaley to his right. They get the play off. Beckley pressured, rolls out to the right. Beckley end zone, caught. And the 2-pointer is good. Isaiah Thomas. And the clock reaches 0. And for the first time in 1,078 days, these Walnut Hills Eagles are winners. They defeat Western Hills 30-8. The cheerleaders storm on the field to celebrate. They're going to shake hands first, but then they're going to storm on the field to celebrate. The 4th longest losing streak in Ohio is no more. 3 touchdown passes from Will Rivers. Ty Austin, over 100 all-purpose yards. Mark Bronson, Jeremiah Thornton, also big stars. Joshua Thornton, rather. And they're going to race the north end zone. A big group of fans in their beach day attire went on, and the nut house is cleared out. The stands slowly empty, but they aren't going home. They're going onto the field. Some players getting mobbed. We need to make sure there's no injuries here, as field storm is slowly coming. They're going through Designated gate, but they are coming. Band walks onto the field. The players still at the front of the line. Jordan Harris, Jared Ross get their first wins since they were freshmen. And the fans are coming faster now. The band clock comes and a whole host of students coming on to celebrate the end of this 1,000-day nightmare. And they are still not even close to emptying. Field storm is coming. They are still racing out there. They gather on the 50-yard line, and they are still coming. The students of the top public high school in Ohio do not want to jump over the fence. The crowd is still getting bigger. They walk along the tracks at the side of Mark Stadium. And the Walnut Hills players and coach G. Benjamin Miles will get to celebrate something they have not in a long, long time. Probably see some internet videos of this scene at some point in the next couple days. It is marvelous to look at. The seniors gather in the north end zone. See Jordan Harris, Jeremiah Thornton, and others. And they're met there by hundreds of Nuthouse faithful. For these Eagles, the party's just getting started next week. They'll host Milford, defending champions of the ECC, look to keep this hot streak going. Final score from Mark Stadium, Walnut Hills 30 and Western Hills 8. This has been Walnut Hills Football on the Sportscasting Channel.